Okay, let's have a look at the dollar. I can't say I'm very interested in it. There are better pairs to trade than the dollar pairs right now, I think. Though I'll take a look and I will do my best with it. There are a number of possibilities. I think the main question right now, is this a bearish or a corrective sequence? From the January high, is this the start of a major move down with a couple gyrations more to follow perhaps? Or is this some type of corrective sequence for another move up? Um, in the bearish picture, I have it marked as 5 waves into the January high. I think it can be called, I can count this as 5 waves for the last segment. And with the bearish divergence, I'm going to treat it as bearish unless I see some type of clearer corrective setup. So looking at going to the 4 hour, first of all, the bullish setup that I talked about last weekend did work out. We had a 5 wave advance and a 3 wave correction and another leg up. Now overall that makes that just 3 waves and we are already selling off from that. So it's either starting correctively here, probably, or it's just 3 and down. Looking at it from January, if I'm going to put a bearish count on this, probably the best I can do right now would be something like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, larger wave 4, 5, and then a corrective bounce. So at this stage, now that we've had a small 3 up, I would favor another low, another move down. So unlike last weekend where I was looking for a move up, this weekend I'm preferring a move down. I don't have a trade set up otherwise. I had a trade set up last week with the 5 up. I don't have a trade set up now because we've done a corrective 3-wave move and are already declining from there. There's not much to say on the weekly as far as I can tell. So I would look for another low, which suggests to me that Euro US dollar will move up for one more high and then maybe a bigger correction, perhaps. For a corrective view of this sequence here from January, I'm not really sure what it could be right now. I was viewing this correctively for a while into here, but the breakdown has made me change my mind on it. I'm not sure what type of correction it could be, frankly. So I'm treating it as guilty until it proves otherwise. So bearish until it proves otherwise. And then let's see what happens. So Euro US dollar, a bit of a similar idea here. I mean, if I was forced to count this, it would be the same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. One more high. And then a bigger correction down. And then a big move up. So I'm sticking with a bullish count on Euro US dollar. I feel that it's made the low into here on the weekly with that ending diagonal right here from the Trump election. So I'm going to treat this as bullish now and done and terminated into January of this year. New year, new trend. I think I've been over this before. In any case, I'm looking at this as a bullish sequence here and this as a correction of it. So I'm switching to a bullish view on Euro US dollar. And I think on the next high as well, if we do see a next high and we do get the correction as I'm thinking, I mean, this does have the type of look now of like a range-bound market. A lot of traders like the range-bound idea. So move up a little higher. If it happens, it'll probably come into some resistance too on a range-bound market. essentially, even though that's not how I'm viewing it. Traders do, and traders influence price, maybe, who knows with what else is going on, but a range bound market is something to keep in mind here, with resistance, with a shooting star as well on the weekly. So any move up into 114, 115 should see sellers come in as well. So if we do get the move up for one more leg, I would expect a correction to follow that. Okay, I'm not looking at pound, Aussie, or New Zealand now. I think there are better pairs out there, and Aussie US dollar, I've essentially lost track of. I mean, the idea I was running, I think a lot of people shared this view. I was looking at it as a triangle. It is still open to that. I can't rule it out entirely yet for an E into here and then another leg down. And if we do ever see this low, I was looking at it as a possibility to buy anyway. However, well, I can't say that won't happen, but at the moment it's not really looking like it's going to happen. So I'm leaving this for now. I think there are better pairs. There are pairs out there that are clearer to me, so why get involved with something that's confusing? Euro New Zealand. I'm still looking for the price gap from the French presidential election to be filled. However, there is a count on this, in my mind anyway, that it can be done. Mentally, I'm looking at this as possibly finished into Friday's low, though I would need to see a bit more of a type of leading diagonal or 5 up for this to work out. But I could look at it as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. I do like the view, however, that 15240 will be filled for the price gap here. So unless I see a clear buy signal, I'm just going to treat it as something not to be involved in right now. I like the gap idea, just like we saw on US dollar yen. When price came down last week and filled the presidential gap, the France market gap from that Sunday night. So it filled that, then moved up, and I'm looking for Euro New Zealand to do the same. However, it is possible, in my opinion, that the count could be done here, and that price again is closed within the previous daily wicks, so it's trying to find a support area. And on the 4-hour, we still have a bunch of divergence. So if this does move up, I would treat it as A, essentially done, a 3-wave correction, and another move down, which would fill the gap, and then take a new look at it. But I am looking for that bounce, whether it's from here on a type of buy entry on a leading diagonal or a 5 up, or a bit lower into the 200 region. I'm still looking for that move up, essentially. So looking at another New Zealand-based pair, I think Aussie New Zealand is also in line here for a move up. So we're at trend support. At this level, I am favoring the Z idea, but I feel at trend support we are still going to get a more significant bounce. So on the daily, I dropped that other count I had, and I'm preferring to view it essentially as 5 waves done into here. And this could be, well, there are a number of ways to count it, frankly, but I feel what's more important is that it looks like 5 are done into here. And on the 4-hour, I would suggest, or rather I will keep in mind that if we do see another low, I will keep in mind a buy possibility on that. I'll be looking for a buy possibility on the next low. The fact is that trendline support here is not something that I want to think about selling. So I'm looking for the low on the next. I'm looking for a buy opportunity, most likely on the next low. So both these Euro pairs New Zealand-based pairs are looking like they're going to get a bounce. still to me. Okay. Okay, the yen ideas have been working from the ending diagonal, well, possible diagonal for wave 2 on US dollar yen, on a euro yen, the move into here. Both those worked out. Now, how it advances from here, I still like the idea in US dollar yen that we will see towards 113. If it's more bullish than that, we will see it higher on the 4 hour. I'm counting this as, for the bullish case, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and now it is open to movement up here. A more bearish idea on that may see this as a 3-wave move, but at a bigger correction, but that is just speculation for now. I feel that the bulls are in control just at this stage, though I will need to see a break of 113 for the bigger idea to take hold. Because it is still open, keep in mind, for a 3-wave correction like that, or a 3-wave correction like this. But from this low, I'm still looking for another gyration to 113. So just to leave it there. Euro yen. Euro yen to me looks a bit different. I'm viewing this as 3 waves. So in this pair, I feel we do have higher to go. I was talking about 125, 126 before. The question now opens up to this being just some type of 3-wave move here, however, and a bigger correction. So if anyone's low from lower down, just be wary of that. I mean, everything looks good at the moment. Other than that, the weekly looks strong. Daily's okay, and well, price closed. The daily price closed within the wick from a few days ago, so it needs some force here to get up through it. But at the moment, I'm kind of favoring this to be a type of 3-wave correction and another move down. That's probably my preferred view on this, even on US dollar yen, but they are open to a more bullish advance, however. So it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, if the US dollar sells off. The yen can be weaker, and we can still see a bid on US dollar yen. Just a question if it's in from here or from lower down. But for now, the bulls have it in US dollar yen. I feel a little bit higher. Okay, I will leave it there. The main pairs for me are the Canadian pairs, gold, Euro New Zealand, Aussie New Zealand, and the yen pairs. I'm not so interested in the dollar right now. I mean, again, on Euro US dollar, from last week's down move that we saw, it is just 3 waves again. So far, it's just been 3 waves up from that. So we'll see if the wave 4 idea works on this and one more high. All right. Have a good week. Bye-bye.